Well, hi guys and gals, it's me, George, the Shade Tree Fix-It Man. And it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood today, a little chilly. It's only in the 30s. The birds are loving the feed. Yep. But that's not really what this video is about. This video has to do with update on the Goofy cart. And for those of you familiar with it, you will notice that the transmission is missing. Yep, we pulled it out, and look at all the STP that dripped on my mirror under there. I don't know if I told you about this mirror. I was wanting to get one, and I was at the dump a few weeks ago, and there was laying right on top of the pile, just like brand new. Anyway, I started doing some cleanup, and I'm going to have to do more. The only thing that will cut that STP is penetrating oil, like my PB Blaster and that kind of stuff. I tried using other cleaners like Totally Awesome and Purple Power, and they wouldn't even touch it. It just laughed at them when and laid on top of it. So we'll clean it with that, and then after we get all the STP off, then we can do a little cleaning with other stuff as well. And which is okay, because the whole Goofy cart needs a good cleaning right now, I could tell you that. So we have the old one off, and here's the old one, and I have it in this pan to catch more STP as it runs out the bottom. And there's one of the idler pulleys down in there, all covered with STP. Yep, what a mess that stuff makes. It's definitely slick. Ain't no two ways about it. And here's our new transmission here. And I've showed it to you before. I'm not ready to put it in yet because I want to finish cleaning it, and I want to give it a coat of paint so it looks nice, just like this one does, you know what I'm saying? And actually I have a couple of holes that I have to drill and tap on this. Let's see. This is the drive side here. These holes here are all drilled out, but as you can see, they're not tapped, so they're blank, so I'll have to tap them out, although I may not. The reason for those for that is because this mount, if I can get it to spin up there right, this mount here is to hold my idler sprocket, but we may have to be changing that because we're not using the same sprocket anymore. And remember, here's the original sprocket here, small one, and this is the one that's off of this newer transmission, a little heavier but basically the same size. But we're going from that size to this size. So this is going to be going on here. So there probably won't be room for the idler sprocket to go right underneath it, and I have to drill out the middle of this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the sprocket off of this and weld the sleeve, because these sleeves are splined. See that? Yeah, I'm going to weld that spline sleeve onto this sprocket. So that'll take care of that one. And then we have another one, and I need to order 2 more, which I'll be doing shortly. This will be going down here to replace this big sprocket that sticks down too far. So we're going to have direct drive 1-to-1, because these are the same size, from the transmission down to here. And to make this all work, you can see there's a bushing right there, and there's a bushing here. I need to cut this sprocket off of here, the small one, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to weld this sprocket right here onto the back side of it. And I'm not going to, I had thought about turning this down and using that sleeve, and I still may, but I also have another piece that would do the job right here that will receive a bronze bushing in it. So actually I could weld this onto this like this. See, get that onto there like that. And then once I have this cut off of here, I could weld that onto this. So that would take care of my drive into the inside of the frame. And I have two more of these coming because I'm going to use the same size down here on the bottom, and I can't get it in there the way I've got it mounted up there, but the same size on the bottom of the transmission. And I will also use, and I haven't removed it yet, but there's a pulley on the bottom side of this right angle gearbox, and I still have the pulley down the bottom, and we're going to replace the pulley with this sprocket. So everything from the bottom of this sprocket across to the transmission and then coming up out of the transmission again will be the same size, and the same size going down and coming out there and then coming inside. So that's where I'm at that. And because I need to be able to use my lathe, and I hadn't set up my lathe since I moved here, and so I've got it all set up now so that it works, and I discovered that I have a problem. I put my headstock on here. There's a little metal sleeve that goes inside here for the adjustment of this onto the deck here, and that piece got lost in the shuffle moving from Minnesota here. So I just discovered this because I just finished mounting this up and assembling stuff, and so I'm going to have to go in the house and go online, see if I can buy just that separate piece. I hope I can. Let me show you how it works. So they're all set up there, and I just ran the wire from the motor back behind this little toolbox, which has all of my cutters and so forth, and I thought sure I would have left that piece in here, but you know what, when I was tearing it apart, I'll bet I didn't even realize it was there, and it dropped off either in the bag that I put it in, or who knows. Anyway, it's gone. So that plug comes over here, and then I have a switch on this box, and that switch is plugged in up here. So to turn my lathe on, I have to be over here away from all of this, so I'm not reaching back across, you know. That's not a safe thing to be doing, especially when the lathe is running. So I have my switch over here, and it's just a rocker switch. So it's easy to work on and off. And as you can see, I have my new adjustable belt, which works dandy. And we're all set up. Got to do a little more cleaning up because this set out in underneath the eaves here, and even though I don't know if I had a tarp, I think I had a tarp over it, but it got wet. It was in a box. The carriage itself was in a box, but this got wet, and so this got some surface rust on it. And my other chuck here, I need to finish cleaning it up too. This is an original chuck for this machine. See this? It's a Craftsman. Yep. And this is a four tooth chuck, I guess is what you call it. And of course, this lathe is a Sears and Roebuck, same as a Craftsman. And I want to give a big shout out to the gentleman that gave this to me. His name was Stan, and his YouTube channel is Fixin' That Up. Stan is no longer with us. He passed away a couple of years ago now, and may he rest in peace. But Stan very graciously packaged this all up. He even made a video for me showing him packing it up, he and his son. And they packaged it all up, and I've done some restoration work on it. I cleaned this all off and repainted this. This part here is all repainted, and this here, and the motor is one that I picked up. I don't think that came with it. I'm not sure. But anyway, that got painted, and the carriage here got all painted too. And so the only thing that didn't get painted was this headstock, and I was in need of it. So I need to get that piece so I can chuck up those those sprockets in here, because I need to modify them to work. So yep. And while Stan is gone, his son, and you'll forgive me, I'll put his name up here. I forgot what his first name is. He and his wife and young child are on a new adventure. They're moving from the homestead where he and his dad did lots of machine work and other projects, and they have moved out into the woods, and they're going to live off grid. And so you can check them out, and I'll put a link in the description down below where you can find their channel. And he's keeping a video log of their move and all of the hassles they've had to go through in the process. And I hope that they will soon be able to be settled in enough to relax a little bit. But yep, so I'm glad to have this set up again, and I have my towel over here. You might have seen this in the background sometimes with the towel over it. I keep the towel covering it, keep all the dirt and dust off of it in the shop. And I finally got my bench drill press anchored down today, so it's usable. I've already been using it anyway, even without being anchored, but now it's anchored down. So yeah, that's where we're at on those things. And I hope you all having good weather where you are. I know where we moved from back in Minnesota, I think yesterday they were down to like 30 below zero. And whoo, yep. Thankfully it was chilly here, but it was up into the 40s, and today's chillier than it was. Now finally, I want to do a shout out. See this battery right here? This is a replacement from the company that I bought this from. I bought this, well, it would be a year ago now, but I bought it in January a year ago. And it had worked fine, and even started the goofy car once after we moved down here, or a couple times. But I went to start it the other day when I moved the goofy cart in, and it was dead. And I put it on a charger for a few days, and it wouldn't pick up, and it would never get more than 8.5 volts. So I contacted the people that I bought it from, and I bought it on eBay, and they are ProTech, that's with a K on the end there. And they said that if I would ship it back to them, they would ship me a new one at no extra charge. So I paid the $15 to ship it, flat rate, priority mail, and as soon as I gave them the tracking number, they put this in the mail to me. And so I have a new battery again. And they didn't prorate it or anything. It was a complete replacement. So I got to give a big shout out to them, and I told them that I would. And The first one that I bought actually was orange, about the same color as this cap right here. But that's okay. We can deal with the black. So, yep, that's where we're at today. And hope you all are doing well. And we're making progress a little bit at a time. So I'll give you one more look. And somebody requested that I put some of my artwork on the channel. Thanks for watching, commenting, and subscribing. Till then, bye now.
Shade tree, fix it man. I don't need any helping hand. I'm a jack of all trades when I'm working in the shade. I'm a shade tree, fix it man.